Hello and welcome to another one of my Sims 4 speed builds. This one is not part of my base game series. If you want to see some speed builds of just base game, go check out my channel because I'm doing a whole thing. I'm filling Newcrest with base game stuff. But this time, I really wanted to challenge myself and try to do things like more clutter and more fantasy-like. So, also ignore my makeup and my boobs being extra. I'm practicing a cosplay, so I look like Yennefer, sort of. We're almost there, still practicing. So for this build, I've made a kind of fantasy crystal forest cottage kind of build. I went a little ham with the Realm of Magic debug items, which, by the way, I don't know how to find all of the debug items. Like, I was watching this person do a build of a floating castle, and I've always wanted to do a floating castle in The Sims, and so when I saw this person's, it wasn't just, flat. They had found these debug rocks, so it looks like, I'll link their video down below, but it looks like, actual rocks that have come out of the ground that this castle is built on top of. And I can't find that. And then there's also like normal stuff like in parks and stuff that's fences and things, and I can't find them. And I don't know how, because I'll search regular debug stuff, and like through all of the, when you put debug in the search bar, that's what I'm trying to say, it doesn't all come up. And I don't know how. Maybe there's a way you look at all of that stuff. I'm not sure. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments, I don't know, or maybe I'll just go look up some videos on debug items. I don't know. Yeah, Realm of Magic has these, at least one giant rock that I could find, and you can't size that one up or down for some reason, so I just placed that one, all over the place, and then I filled it in with some black rocks, and I almost didn't upload this build because it's not entirely functional. Like, it's really hard to get in there and see what you're doing, and the trees, they come into the house because the walls don't block the branches, which I'm hoping they will fix in an update someday. Hopefully, I don't know. But it is usable. I play tested it. You'll see it at the end. I did some play testing, and you gotta just zoom in really far, and you have to use the Sims 3 camera because it's just so hard to see what you're doing in there. Which also is another thing I'm trying to force myself to do, is use the Sims 3 camera. I did not do much building in the Sims 3, so I didn't ever get used to the camera, but they have it as an option in this one. So in The Sims 4, they have it as an option to use the Sims 3 camera, and it's much easier to use to move the camera around and, do the things you need to do. Yeah, and I also had some trouble when I was playtesting. Like, you can't have rocks underneath staircases. You can have plants underneath staircases, but you can't have rocks. So I had the staircase that goes up to the house, I had that more full of like rocks and plants and stuff, but I had to take it off because it wasn't working. It wasn't allowing the person to walk into the house. And I almost forgot a bathroom. At the very end, you'll see there's another car going by. Hang on. You probably can't even hear it. I hear it really loud, and I think it ends up being really loud on my camera, but I don't think it is. But anyway, you'll see at the end, I have to like finagle my way around the tree to try to get a bathroom in there. It's awful. It took me a long time to do this build. And I learned a lot, which is why I wanted to do this. I want to do more fantasy stuff. So I think it would be better to build. There's another truck going by. I'm sorry. It makes me lose my train of thought when a truck or a car goes by and it's loud. Sorry. What was I saying? Oh, it would be better to build the house itself first and then put the trees around it, because I don't know. I used the, I forget what this tree is called, but it's like the magical tree that takes you to that place. Why can't I remember what it's called? I don't know. Anyway, and then there's also these long branches that I believe are from the Jungle Adventure pack that I was like connecting the trees to. And so I wanted to build around that, but I think it would be better to do it the opposite way and build the house and then have the branches connecting the house to the trees. So yeah. Also getting a lot of practice in on multi-level stuff. I really love the way that the stairs came out. There's like a staircase up to a little platform with a bench on it, and then another staircase that goes up to the patio, and then that little patio goes into the house. So I think they technically count it as a 3-story house because of the patio, the first little platform patio. I'm not sure, but it is only 2 floors. There's the first floor, which has like a little living area. It's got all the living stuff in it, and the bathroom, and like the kitchen, and the dining, and living, and whatever, you know, normal stuff. I didn't put like a TV or a computer in here, so you can add that if you feel like it, if you download this. But I wanted it to feel like I put an older sim in this house, and I wanted it to be like she's, you know, it's in realm of magic, so she's like magical, maybe a witch, and she like grows crystals, and she's old, and she doesn't like watch TV or pay attention to the computer. I don't know, that's what I had in my head for this. And then the top floor, I'm sad about it, but I can't fix it. There's a whole bunch of branches inside the bedroom. Once I placed down the tree and then all of the rocks around it, I could not move them again because they would pop up on, I did some terrain building and it would completely shift them. So it just messed it up completely and I couldn't fix it. It's sad, but that's what I get for building the trees first and the terrain first instead of the house first. So if you're gonna do something like this, build the house first. I think I also put a waterfall on the side of the house that is from Spa Day. I think it's supposed to go inside of a spa building, but I put it on the outside and I covered it with rocks and leaves and stuff, so it looks like there's water falling underneath the house. That's really cool. Also, I had an idea. I left them in the yard for the longest time. There's a bunch of these pictures from Debug. They're just sitting in the yard the whole time. I keep moving them around. I don't get rid of them because I don't want to have to go find them again in Debug. But I never end up using them. I had this cool idea to take one of those paintings and turn it into an entire wall, because you know there's not a lot of wallpaper options that actually look really cool, but this is like a super magical house. So I was going to take one of those really colorful paintings, blow it up, and make it an entire wall. But then when I got like into the actual decorating of the house, I completely forgot, and by the time I remembered, it just didn't feel like it matched anymore. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. This was my first like super fantasy. I've built other things before, like before I was recording anything, but this is my first like super cluttered out fantasy. What am I calling this? The Glimmer Crystal Forest. Yeah. I'm kind of proud of it. Despite it not being super functional, I kind of like it, and I'm glad I got the practice in because now I'm ready to do a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye!